Hello everyone, back again on the Unite Pieces channel. Today we will recap an action, thriller, horror movie, titled Tokyo Ghouls. This movie is adapted from the anime of the same name. The movie tells the story of Ken Kaneki's life as barely surviving after an encounter with Rize Kamishiro. Investigating, it turns out that Rize Kamishiro is a female ghoul. Ghouls are monsters that resemble humans, but they like to eat and hunt humans. So, make sure you watch this video till the end, for a better experience. The movie begins with two teenagers named Ken Kaneki and his best friend, Hideyoshi. They talk in the cafe and discuss many things, including that of a mysterious creature called a ghoul, and talk about a girl named Rize Kamishiro, who is being fancied by Kaneki. Kaneki is a smart and quiet teenager, but behind his nature he is actually a cheerful young man. Soon after, the girl they were talking about came to the cafe, making Kaneki nervous and dropping the book he was holding. The girl then picked up Kaneki's book and revealed that they turned out to like the author of the same book. In short, they arranged a date for that day. On the date, they immediately got along because they had the same hobby. After dating all night, they then walked together to go home. Here Rize suddenly stopped her steps and said her feelings to Kaneki. After that, Rize hugged Kaneki, who was still silent, but suddenly, Rize bit Kaneki's shoulder. It was revealed that Rize was one of the ghouls who had been roaming, and she deliberately approached Kaneki to make her prey. Kaneki struggled to escape from Rize. He crawled to find help, but that only made Rize even more excited. Rize then stabbed Kaneki with a cocoon that emerged from her body, but suddenly a building fell on Rize and killed her instantly. In contrast to Rize, Kaneki could actually be saved. The reason he was able to survive was with the help of Rize's internal organs that were transplanted into his body. The scene switches and shows two characters named Mado and Amon, who are holding hostage a ghoul they met in District 20. It is revealed that they are part of a secret government agent tasked with capturing and exterminating ghouls. In addition to their skills, each agent also has a special weapon from the cocoon of the ghouls they have been eliminating. Back to Kaneki. After the accident that happened to him, Kaneki was finally able to recover and live his life as usual. While at his college, he met Hideyoshi. Hideyoshi then invited Kaneki to eat and celebrate his recovery. However, a strange thing happened when he ate the food. He began to feel nauseous and vomited all the food onto the table. After arriving home, he tried again to eat the food in his refrigerator, but again and again he vomited all the food. Through the news from television, he learned that a ghoul could not eat human food. A frustrated Kaneki went to wash his face, and when he looked at his face in the mirror, he was shocked to see that one eye was red, indicating the eyes of a ghoul. This could happen because the internal organs in Kaneki's body were Rize's organs. Finally, he had to face the reality of living as half-ghoul and half-human. When Kaneki walked out of the house and saw humans around him, for some reason he suddenly felt hungry and wanted to eat the humans around him. But his bloodlust was stopped when he smelled a delicious smell from somewhere. After walking down the street, he saw a ghoul who was eating humans in a dark alley. Kaneki was surprised to see him, and the man offered Kaneki food. When Kaneki was about to step up, suddenly the man was killed by another ghoul named Nishiki. Nishiki said that District 20 was his territory, and anyone who was there would definitely be finished off. After that, Nishiki intended to kill Kaneki too, but suddenly Kaneki was helped by a woman who was also a ghoul named Tuka Kirishima, who was a waitress at the Antiku cafe that was usually visited by ghouls. Kirishima managed to defeat Nishiki and make him run away. Then because she saw Kaneki who was starving, she offered Kaneki a human hand, but Kaneki immediately rejected it because he still felt that he was human. Kaneki finally went home and was forced to endure his hunger. The next day, Kaneki went to see Tuka at the cafe and asked for advice so that he could find suitable food. Soon the owner of the cafe named Yoshimura came to Kaneki, offering something that could be consumed by Kaneki, namely coffee. Coffee is the only human food ingredient that can also be consumed by ghouls. How many days later Kaneki started his life as a student as usual. He covered one eye because sometimes it often turned into ghoul eyes when he was hungry. At first everything went as usual, but everything changed when Kaneki met Nishio aka Nishiki, who was a new teacher at Kaneki's school, and Nishio was also close to Hideyoshi. Kaneki, who already knew who Nishiki was worried about their safety, and sure enough, Nishio's main goal of approaching Hideyoshi was to devour him. Kaneki was clearly surprised because what he feared happened immediately. He also couldn't fight Nishio because Nishio was much tougher than him. Moreover, Kaneki also didn't know how to use his ghoul power. Kaneki tried hard to awaken his strength, and finally he succeeded. When Nishio was about to kill Hideyoshi, with the power Kaneki had, he also managed to defeat Nishio. However, it was not over yet. Kaneki, who saw his best friend covered in blood, could not control himself. This happened because the Rize soul inside Kaneki's body was still hungry for human flesh. After looking at the mirror, Kaneki realized that he could not eat his own best friend. After that, Kaneki took Hideyoshi to the hospital to get help, and he immediately went to the cafe to reflect on himself. Kaneki then met Yoshimura, and told him about his worries. Yoshimura then said that Kaneki was a lucky person, because he could be half ghoul and half human. Yoshimura also told Kaneki that all the visitors and waiters who worked at the cafe were ghouls. Hearing that Kaneki finally decided to come to work as a waiter at the cafe, he wanted to live his life as a ghoul and also a human. After that, Kaneki was ordered to look for food with a waiter named Renji Yomo. They then looked for human corpses around the edge of the ravine to make food. The next day, news circulated that government agents were already in District 20, and the agents were Amon and Mado. A few moments later, they found two people they suspected of being ghouls. Mado immediately prepared to find the whereabouts of the two people with the help of other agents. Of course, the two people targeted by Mado were a mother and her daughter, and they were special guests at the Antaiku Cafe. They were Ryoko and her daughter named Hinami. When Ryoko and Hinami were about to return to the cafe, they were surrounded by Mado and Amon, who had managed to trap them. Being cornered, Ryoko finally asks Hinami to escape from that place, and she herself will fight Mado. At that time, Mado showed the secret weapons of the agents, and it was revealed that the weapon owned by Mado was the Kagun of Ryoko's husband, whom Mado had killed in the past. It made Ryoko very angry, but she still couldn't do anything about it. Elsewhere, Hinami tried her best to run away from that place. She ran and met Kaneki, quickly asking Kaneki for help to save her mother. However, it was useless because he himself could not do anything, and could only see the terrible events that befell Ryoko. Finally, Hinami and Kaneki could only see Ryoko die in a sadistic way. Because of that incident, Kaneki then told it to the waiter who was at the cafe. Hearing that, Tuka became very angry and immediately went to see the agent in question. After arriving there, Tuka only managed to kill Mado and Amon's subordinates. But she was helpless before Mado and Amon. This happened because they were too strong for her. Tuka returned to the cafe with wounds all over her body. Kaneki, who was at the cafe, was very surprised to see that. The next day, Kaneki asked Tuka for help to train him. He wanted to be able to control the ghoul power that was on him. Kaneki's goal was to avenge the death of Hinami's mother by Mado and Amon. After practicing for a while, Kaneki was finally able to master his ghoul powers and became stronger than before. After the training was completed, Kaneki and Tuka made a plan to kill the two agents. On the other hand, it was seen that Hinami had apparently fallen into Mado's trap. Mado lured Hinami by using his mother's hand. Hinami was lured and hugged her mother's hand, and, knowing that, Kaneki and Tuka finally rushed to find Hinami's whereabouts. After searching for some time, Tuka finally managed to find Hinami, who was under the bridge. While elsewhere, Kaneki met Amon and intended to hinder his movements. The fight between Kaneki and Amon was inevitable. With the strength he had, Kaneki tried to defeat Amon, but his efforts were in vain because Amon's weapons were very strong. However, even so, Kaneki still did not give up, until finally Rize's thirst for meat dominated Kaneki's body. In a semi-conscious state, Kaneki immediately ate Amon's shoulder. It made Kaneki stronger, and with the strength he had, he managed to defeat Amon. Kaneki was then overshadowed by the existence of Rize. It made him lose control of himself. He then said to Amon that if humans believe in ghouls, then ghouls and humans can coexist. After that, Kaneki asked Amon to leave the place, because he didn't want to kill him. After that, Kaneki left and immediately looked for Toka's whereabouts. Elsewhere, Tuka is also trying hard to defeat Mado, but with the power that Mado has, she can't beat him. With Ryoko's Kagun, Mado became stronger and made it his weapon. This clearly made Tuka even more angry, and her anger made her take a careless step. which made Madohampir kill her. However, Hinami managed to save Tuka with Kagun from her father and mother. It managed to make Mado fall. Tuka did not waste the opportunity and immediately killed Mado. After that incident, Hinami decided to go to District 24 to take refuge, while Tuka, Kaneki and other cafe waitresses returned to living their lives as usual, and slowly life in District 20 finally began to run as usual. The movie ends by showing Eamon visiting Mado's grave. He promised that one day he would avenge Mado by killing all the ghouls. What do you think of this movie? Please write your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the like button, and support our channel by subscribing, so that we stay motivated to create more interesting content for you to enjoy. And see you soon.